Here's a funny development in the whole AI in mathematics thread. I wouldn't have guessed this was going to happen, but I guess in retrospect I should have. It seems that different people are now posting proofs independently of the same things, independently of each other, and boy is this going to be a headache for assigning credit. I'm Dr. Samuel Allen Alexander, mathematician and philosopher, still here. On Twitter, Steve McCormick writes, "Today, two different independent papers were simultaneously posted that prove a conjecture from 1986, both acknowledging extensive use of ChatGPT to get there, and both acknowledging that they had this independent of another proof of the same result posted Friday." Later on, Steve posts links to those papers. Let's follow these links and look at the papers. This is the Friday paper from about a week ago, and it's by Jian Ge. The abstract, the paper is titled Heat Kernel Geometry and Gromov's Volume Growth Conjecture. The abstract reads, in 1986, Gromov asked whether every complete non-compact n-dimensional Riemannian manifold with non-negative Ricci curvature and scalar curvature at least 1 satisfies the G-volume of the ball of radius big R around P less than or equal to big C n big R to the n minus 2 for all P in big M and big R bigger than 0. We answer this question affirmatively using the heat kernel Fisher metric and Nash entropy. And there's no disclosure here about AI in this paper. I haven't read the whole paper. It's quite long, 33 pages. I mean, that's not infinitely long, but it's a little long to read on the channel. The next paper, published on the 17th apparently, is by Gioacchino Antonelli, and in their abstract, well, their paper is titled Universal Volume Growth Bounds from Positive Intermediate Curvature, and in their abstract, at the end of their abstract, they say, in particular, taking m equals n minus 2 and delta equals 0 gives Gromov's conjectured codimension 2 volume growth estimate under Ricci curvature bigger than or equal to 0 and scalar curvature bigger than or equal to 1. And apparently they prove a more general result, of which the Gromov conjecture is a special case. Let's search for disclosure here. Disclosure of AI tools. This work made substantial use of OpenAI's GPT 5.6 Sol with ultra reasoning effort and codex. GPT proposed the central inductive procedure based on the Hodge obstruction and rank improvement behind the proof of corollary 1.3. I formulated and guided the problem, suggested relevant strategies in literature, and, following the suggested proof strategy of corollary 1.3, developed this note. I emphasize that the proof below is quite different from the original argument suggested by GPT. On the one hand, the proof below is effective, while the original suggested strategy proceeded by contradiction. This emerged through discussions with Danielle Simola, to whom I'm very grateful. On the other hand, contrary to the original strategy proposed by the AI, the proof below is less reliant on the full proof of reference 24, theorem 5.1. See the discussion before proposition 4.4. This emerged through discussions with Elia Brue and Kai Su. After examining the original output, I observed that a modification of the original argument proposed by the AI gives the extension to the intermediate curvatures of Brendel-Hirsch-John, as stated in theorem 1.2. This extension, motivated by a question I had previously had in a joint work with Kai Su, is my own contribution. Theorems 1.4 and 1.6 emerged through discussions with colleagues as described in the acknowledgements. Addendum. After this manuscript was completed and circulated privately, I learned of independent work by Jian Ge. Ge proves corollary 1.3 by a completely different method based on heat kernel Fisher metric and Nash entropy. At the same time, I learned of independent work of Bochao Kong and Xingyu Zhu. They also established corollary 1.3 using heat kernel techniques. Both approaches are substantially different from the rank improvement argument used here. However, I highlight one connection. Reference 26, that's Bochao Kong and Xingyu Zhu, bears strong similarities with the computations in the proof of proposition 3.1. After completing the revision of this manuscript, in which minor modifications of the original proofs led to the present form of theorem 1.2, I learned of independent work of Robert Koirala. Koirala's result independently implies theorem 1.2 and sharpens it in the following way. It also gives an all-scale estimate with an exponential factor. His proof based on heat kernel techniques is substantially different from the argument used here. And then The next paper is the Bo Chao Kung and Xingyu Zhu paper, which was already mentioned by the Italian paper. Let's take a look at this one. The paper is titled Positive Scalar Curvature and Volume Growth. Abstract. For a complete Riemannian manifold with non-negative Ricci curvature, we proved two sharp volume growth order estimates, thereby resolving a conjecture of Gromov from 1986. The first states that a uniform deficit in the volume of unit balls, an analog of positive macroscopic scalar curvature, forces codimension 1 volume growth, while the second states that a uniformly positive scalar curvature lower bound forces codimension 2 growth as predicted by the codimension 2 volume growth conjecture. And if we search here for disclosure, AI disclosure. Generative AI tools, more explicitly ChatGPT 5.6, Sol Ultra, and Codex, assisted with proof exploration, organization, and drafting. Essential ideas were generated by AI. The authors reviewed, edited, and remain responsible for all theorem statements, proofs, and citations. During the preparation of this draft, we became aware of the preprint Jian-Ge, in which an independent proof of conjecture 1.2 was announced using very similar ideas and was reportedly developed without AI assistance. The AI-generated proof presented in this article was produced before Jian-Ge became publicly available, and we did not use that preprint as a source in our AI-assisted work. This is stunning. Now, first of all, we do not know for sure whether Jian-Ge used AI or not. Apparently, Jian-Ge did not disclose using AI. Let's go back to the Twitter thread. And, by the way, this is really astounding. Imagine if this had happened before the rise of AI. Then this would be really astounding. Well, I think it says something about how AI is really good at revealing results when the time is right for them, when the literature already has the necessary ingredients. AI is very good at finding those ingredients and putting them together. Steve on Twitter says the timing is astounding and makes me more convinced that AI is good at finding proofs if all the right things align in the literature. It also raises a serious question about priority in the assignment of credit for a result, I think. And this is highly relevant, for example, with regard to the Leiden Declaration, a declaration against AI written by a bunch of mathematicians in Europe. And one of the big things in this Leiden Declaration was a lot of noise and fury about the necessity of assigning credit to mathematicians, to human mathematicians. And this new development makes that whole idea even sillier. Not only is AI doing significant amounts of the work, if not the main part of the work, but also we're running into collisions where different people are posting proofs of the same conjectures almost at the exact same time. And in that case, what are you going to do? Are you going to literally check who reached archive servers first? It seems a little silly to me. I think the answer is that the Leiden Declaration is mistaken. We should not boneheadedly try to assign credit to humans all the time. We should acknowledge this particular conjecture fell to AI. Although in this example, the Gromov heat conjecture, it seems as though there's a good chance Jian-Ge will get all the credit. Apparently Jian-Ge did not say whether or not the result was obtained using AI, and if it wasn't obtained using AI, then in that case it's unambiguous that Jian-Ge would get the credit. Later in the Twitter thread, Balas Poske says, the same happened in physics, quantum information theory, a few weeks ago. A distinguished problem was solved by 4 different groups. 4! All using AI within a few days. Werner state undistillability. We were one of the groups. I post the corresponding entry on VibeMath, although it's not complete, it does not have the 4th group. Let's take a look at that. So not only mathematics is affected, theoretical physics also is affected. The result is described on VibeMath as 2-copy distillability of Werner states. Werner states? I'm not sure. Is the guy German or not? Is a Werner state or a Werner state that is not 1-copy distillable ever 2-copy distillable? The first open rung of the NPT bound entanglement ladder, open since the year 2000. Result disproved. It was open for 26 years. Models GPT 5.5, GPT 5.6 Sol. What was actually shown? 2-copy distillable if and only if already 1-copy distillable. 4 independent papers settled this within 5 days of each other, and no single one of them is the account of record. Fu, Gao, and Park posted first on 23rd July on the archive, followed by Song and Chun on 26 July. Then on 27 July, both Fraser, Huber, Pochke, and Vona, and Barty, Gajala, and Hogg. The headline axes here follow the first posting, which is a filing convention and not a claim about who solved it. Pochke has stated publicly that his group had their AI-assisted proof before the first paper appeared. This site cannot verify a private completion date, so that it is recorded as his account rather than as a finding. All 4 are linked below. What AI did? The proof by Fu, Gao, and Park was AI-assisted and independently verified by the authors. Verification. Author verified archive preprint. Within days, 2 further groups posted independent proofs of the same theorem, which strengthens confidence, but none is yet peer-reviewed. Wow, so it's just a mess. Major pileup on highway math and highway physics. So who gets the credit? Now, they were talking about how this guy Pochke claims that his group got it before the other group announced, and of course there's no way to verify that claim. You just have to take his word for it. I strongly suggest that mathematicians and theoretical physicists should start live streaming the writing of their papers. I've started live streaming the writing of my papers. That's on the live part of this channel. And not only does that ensure that you have a record proving that you did such and such thing at such and such time, which would have been very convenient for Mr. Pochke, but it also shows what you did and what AI did. And if you're writing papers purely without AI, then having a live stream of it would be extremely convenient for convincing people that you're writing papers without AI. I'm still writing papers without AI, except using AI to proofread the papers, but not to write them. And my live stream gives proof of that claim. In the Twitter thread, Steve McCormick says, makes me really all the more convinced that it's certain problems that it's particularly good at. Paul Dietz says, was the Friday result done with the use of AI? The paper doesn't say one way or the other. And Steve McCormick replies saying, I think it's impossible to tell. Probably the assumption should be that it wasn't, unless it was declared, though. Well, I think that's kind of a matter of opinion. I mean, if you're giving the full benefit of the doubt to Jianga, then benefit of the doubt says, assume that it wasn't done with AI. But how do we know? Maybe Jianga got it with AI and just didn't say that in their paper. The world will never know. Michael Seatman says, are the proofs very alike? Steve McCormick says, one AI one states to be similar to Friday's, while the other says it's different. I didn't dig into them enough to check. Let's look at the more replies here. Michael Seatman says, it's the first time I see an AI-assisted proof in the field where I used to work. Oh, okay, that's not very relevant. Vic Shichai says, one person can almost solve Riemann hypothesis and another could simply ask the right question and get the proof. Like Mauser says, also happened with one of my proofs, and he links to proofatlas.ai and posts an image. Let's take a look at this image. Like Mauser says in some forum, for those interested, a formalization, 124,000 lines of lean, and an AI-generated improvement to natural density with an explicit clock, plus 50,000 lines of lean, are available at proofatlas.ai. It seems like links are disabled here. John Alec Veer says, regarding remark 1.16 of the paper, upgrading logarithmic density to natural density, I would like to report a manuscript that carries out the program suggested there. The 2 probabilistic pillars are upgraded to versions conditioned on the total 2 valuation, a sum-conditioned superpolynomial Fourier decay bound for the Syracuse random variables, and a sum-conditioned fine-scale mixing property of the full random affine map, rather than just the offset, as anticipated in the remark. The passage from the logarithmic to the uniform measure reduces via an exact combinatorial identity to a local limit computation along the Kronecker orbit of log 2 of 3, where an effectively irrationality measure from linear forms in logarithms supplies the required quantitative equidistribution. The The result is quantitative and keeps time. For a fixed target big N 0, the exceptional set below x has ratio big O of log big N 0 to the power minus 1/29th plus x to the power minus 1/2000th. And on the density 1 set, the witnessing iterate occurs within 1 plus little o of 1, quantity natural log big N over natural log of 4/3 Syracuse steps, i.e. within 12 natural log big N Collat steps with one clock serving every threshold function simultaneously. Timeline for clarity. The main theorem and the argument were archived on Zenodo on July 13th version 1. The explicit rate and the universal clock were recorded on July 22nd version 2, derived from the two-sided first passage concentration already present in version 1. A note added in the manuscript documents this. This appears related in name to the proofatlas.ai work mentioned by Lech Mazur above. The present manuscript is an independent write-up. Manuscript not yet refereed with reference numerics for the three key estimates. So it sounds like Alec Veer and Mazur here are both independently getting some similar results. I can't really follow the details. But this is just another chapter in this whole drama of AI and mathematics. And boys, does this add some new fireworks to the chapter. Suddenly things start to get competitive. Imagine Riemann hypothesis gets proved simultaneously by two different people, both using AI, both post on the same day on arXiv, but their proofs are not the same. Imagine the chaos that would ensue, and who would get the credit? Mind, Body, Soul Science replies to Steve saying, Django's work shows that by defining appropriate geometric metrics and information functionals, one can construct a flow that drives any initial configuration toward a canonical volume-controlled state, essentially solving God's eigenvalue problem by iteration. This makes the whole system dynamical, not just static checks, but active corrections. Well, like I say, one of the big takeaways from this should be, in order to establish priority for yourself, if you're worried about running into one of these collisions, you should start live streaming the writing of your mathematical papers. Live stream it, and not only does that establish when you got your results, but it also establishes that you did your results by hand if you're doing your results by hand. It documents exactly what you did by hand and what was done by AI. And in fact, it disambiguates things, because if you see a paper and there's a disclosure just saying AI did some of the work, well, that doesn't tell us very much. But if there's a live stream, then people can see precisely what AI did and what humans did. And it kind of obsoletes the need for writing complicated descriptions of what the AI did and what the human did, which all requires the reader to believe what you say anyway. So I predict that we're going to see a lot more live streaming of mathematics papers. I've already started live streaming my own math papers. This is just such exciting times we live in. It's amazing, and it's hard to keep track even of all the AI and math stuff going on. It's genuinely a revolution going on, folks, and it's just such an amazing time to be here. I'm so happy that I was born to witness this age. I'm Dr. Samuel Allen Alexander, mathematician and philosopher. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.